Please welcome back Chelsea Handler. Girl, I've made those calls. I know exactly that hotel. Joy. It's on you, Joy.
So, yeah. So, Chelsea, the election is less than a week away. Be afraid. Be very afraid. And you've been very outspoken about it, urging everyone, to get out and vote. So how are you feeling about the election right now? About election night, actually? Are you going to be able to do it without 10 martinis, for example?
Well, no, obviously not, Joy. I mean, you know that's not going to happen. I have lots of edibles and cannabis at my house, and I expect a full stream of, well, I won't finish that sentence because it's morning TV. But I will say that I just want to encourage all people who have not voted yet to try to vote early, because we know the Republicans are going to pull some bull on election day and try to not have all the votes counted. So the earlier you get in your vote, the better we are. So if you have a mail-in ballot, please go and drop it off. Do not mail it now. It's too late to mail. Please go in and drop off your ballots.
Chelsea, last week, 50 Cent tweeted that he was voting for Trump because he discovered he would have to pay more taxes under a Biden administration. And you called him out and said he was now your, excuse me, least favorite ex-boyfriend. And I don't know where I've been because I didn't even realize that you had dated, but your back and forth with him on Twitter went really viral, and he seems to have backtracked on his support for Trump now. Have you spoken to him about this? Because it really made a lot of news.
Yes, and I understand. He called me the other night, 2 nights ago. We spoke for about a half an hour, and I texted him, I DM'd him, and I said, can you please call me about this? I don't want this to be public. I really want to know if you're serious about supporting Trump. And so he called me, and he wasn't serious. He was just screwing around on his Twitter. He is supporting Joe Biden. He made that very clear to me. And he said that I was able to tell you girls and tell any other press I did that he is supporting Joe Biden. So, and then we talked and, had a cute little conversation. I did promise, to pay his taxes. And then I found out it's illegal to pay somebody to vote for your candidate.
Yes, it is.
So I offered him another form of payment, and we'll see if he takes me up on it. But I don't have to pay him. He's already a Biden supporter.
Okay.
Sarah.
Well, on that note, I will remind everyone you are single, and you've been very vocal about your crush on Governor Andrew Cuomo. Now, you can be straight with us. He is coming by the show tomorrow, but we would never tell him what you tell us. So spill the tea. What is it about him?
Well, first of all, he's like a big, giant, he came in like the Incredible Hulk, right? We needed somebody to come on the scene. We were so dehydrated for real leadership that when he came on the scene, looking like this big Italian hunk, I was like, oh my, he's like, wear a mask. I'm like, I'll wear a mask. I'll put a mask on every part of my body. I want to flatten your curve and you can flatten my curve and then we can both apex together. I do want you to follow up on something with him for me, ladies, if you wouldn't mind, because I did have a conversation with Cuomo a few months ago and I did ask him out on a date. And he did say yes, and then I never heard from him.
Oh.
So you'd like us to...
Now your gas card is full, though, because now you've got to do an in-kind donation to Fitty. So, look, you sound like you're going to be very busy here saving the Republic. And please tell Fitty that if he's going to be joking around about supporting Trump, he might want to wait till after the elections to tweet out such jokes, because they ain't very funny right now. But anyways, let's talk about something that is funny. Yeah. You just released your new comedy special, and it's called Evolution. It's your first special in 6 years, and you say it's your most personal. You address the death of your brother. You've talked about that, something that I've experienced as well. So has Whoopi. Why did you take a break from stand-up for so long, and what made you want to come back and do this now?
Well, first of all, I just wanted to, I didn't feel like I had anything to say. You know what I mean? I felt like I was just cashing checks at a certain point in my career. And, I was very vocal about it, that I was tired and exhausted and I wasn't getting anything out of it anymore. And I think because I was, you know, I had a lot of work to do, and going into therapy opened up my self-awareness. You know, my therapist gave me the gift of self-awareness, which allows you to take a real hard look at yourself and think about, what are you doing? How are you contributing to the world instead of taking? And so you know, when I wrote my book and I got the feedback that I did for my book about being honest and being vulnerable, I just thought, wow, if I could turn this story into a stand-up special and make it have it have like heft, you know, have it have meaning finally, if I could have a message, then that would be a dream come true. It's like that scene out of Steel Magnolias, you know, when Julia Roberts' character dies and Sally Field is like, I just want to hit somebody. I just want to hit somebody. And then Olympia Dukakis is like, here, hit Weezer, hit her. That moment.
I remember that.
That beautiful moment of being hysterically crying and then being thrown into hysterical laughter. I just thought if I could achieve that in stand-up, then that would be a story to tell. So that's why I felt so compelled to go through, you know, to do it during COVID, because I really wanted to bring joy and relief during this time that we're all living through together, and remind people that there's hilarity and humanity, you know.
I understand what you're saying very well. I get what you're saying. I also have been through therapy for a long time. I'm not anymore, but I was for a long time. And I'm curious, how specifically did therapy help you to deal with your rage against Trump? Because I could use a few tips.
Oh my God. I would walk into the airports. I would go to the first class lounge, check in, then run over to the Fox News section and start assaulting people. Like I would go in and be like, you're a racist. And then I'd run out, and then I'd run back in and go, do you want your daughter to have rights because she won't? And then I'd run out. Then I'd run back into the Fox News section and go, are you still a racist? I mean, I was out of my tree. And my level of outrage was just not, I couldn't handle it anymore. I was just, my veins were throbbing. And I wanted to learn how to talk to Trump supporters or conservatives at this time in 2016. Now Trump supporters, I don't have anything to say to them anymore at this juncture. But I wanted to be able to have the conversations that I was being prevented from having because of my anger. So that really was the way to get into therapy. And then I realized my anger, yes, I hate Donald Trump. Yes, I find him to be a white supremacist, and I find all of his policies to be abhorrent. But my real anger was, you know, something that happened to me as a child that I never had dealt with. And when we don't deal with our injuries, they creep up on us and tap us on the shoulder when we least expect it.
Right.
Well, Chelsea, thank you.
That's why
Thank you
Donald
for
Trump
coming.
needs
Thank you for getting, yes, he does, getting everything together in your life and giving us a brand new comedy special. Evolution is out now on HBO Max.